What is up, guys? How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. I hope you are all having an awesome beginning of the week. If you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Nadja, aka The VoodooChild, and this is a Tribe Tea segment where you guys send me in your stories. We read them for entertainment, or if you need some advice. This is a live segment. We have you guys in the chat here. Here, I'm going to put the chat on the screen. Make sure you guys are streaming this in 1080p, okay, so you can get the best quality. What is up, you guys? I'm sipping on some OJ. Hold on. I just needed a little swig, you know. What's up, you guys? Shout out to all the mods in here. Shout out to OTW. What's up? Shout out to Shyla, Kels, Jennifer, Matria. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. Brianna, DDR. What is up? I'm seeing a lot of new faces here. What's up? What's up? Make sure you guys like the live. Thank you so much. So yeah, this is basically an advice segment where people send in their stories and we read them, we learn from them, all that jazz, right? So today we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, lucky number 7 stories. Okay, we're gonna do 7 stories today, and they're all older stories that have kind of been pushed around. So I want to give everybody a chance. Thank you guys so much for being so patient with me with your stories. There are tons of people that do submissions, y'all, so please be patient with me. I will always email you once I read it, so you're not just wondering what's going on, right? So let me think, is there any other housekeeping I need to do? Shout out to anybody if this is your first time here. Oh, my shop. Let's do that. So again, I don't have any more long sleeves on the shop. Okay, there it goes. I don't have any more long sleeves. I do have the crop top. So if you guys want to purchase crop tops, I would appreciate it. You guys have been doing so awesome this season. I'm still trying to think of what I want to do for summer. So I'm just elongating this spring a little bit more. So it's still available. Go ahead and get you some stuff. Thank you so much for the support so far. Shout out to Black Cat in the chat for the super chat. Thank you so much. You guys do not have to donate to me, but I do appreciate it. They said, I love this entire look. Looking forward to the 7 stories. Well, thank you so much. Not gonna lie, I just got back from being in the world. Like this, it's a little too hot in Florida for what I got going on. And my pockets always be coming out, but I do agree. This is a look. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'm gonna just get into it because I ramble a little too much and then it takes away from the story. So I'm just about to get into the first story. Do I have the music on? Do we have music? Do we have music? No. Here, let's get some music. There we go. So we're going to get into the first story, which is the thumbnail and the screenshot and the whole third wheel thing, right? So it's just called Being a Third Wheel, all right? Let's get into it. And she did send me pictures. OMG. Everyone, y'all are some good looking people. I don't know what y'all got going on or who is the bad guy in this situation, but just off rip, y'all are all some good looking people. Y'all all low-key kind of look related a little bit. I don't know. Okay, let's get into the being a third wheel, okay? Which sucks. Oh, being a third wheel in my own relationship. Excuse me, in my own relationship. Now that is unacceptable. That's not cool, man. All right, so hey Nadja, first off, I just want to say I love your videos. Well, thank you so much. Ever since I found your channel about 7 months ago, I've been watching all your videos on end. I am 19, turning 20 this year, and honestly, when they sent me this, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're like 20, 22 at this point. Like, that's how old this story is. But again, I always encourage you guys, even if like I don't get to your story, resend it. Like resend it, because I'll do what I'm doing right now. I don't care if it's from 2020. I will read it. Like, I don't care. So yeah. They said that this is the first time they're sending in this story. Okay. This story is going to be about a weird love triangle. In my previous relationship between me, my ex, oh no. looks like I'm about to lose some more friends this week. Like, people be getting so mad when I read stories like this. But obviously, the fact that I keep getting stories like this is pretty common. And if you get angry about this, maybe you need to do a reflection on yourself. Like, at this point, she says she is in a weird triangle, was in a weird triangle with her ex, and his sister. Weird. Why is this a recurring thing? I don't know. Weird. Because, right, weird. Just so weird. And, you know, I'm not trying to ramble too much because we do have a lot of stories, but I remember we've read like multiple stories like this, but I remember one, I think it was the most recent one. Somebody commented and they were like, oh, Nadja, you don't understand because, maybe you're not as close to your brother. So no, they were like, you don't understand because maybe you're not as close to your brother, so it's different and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, sis, me and my brother share the same parents, like mother and father, grew up together in the same home, sometimes shared the same bedroom because of financial situations. Like we may not be cool, but I know my brother. Like, so please don't try to make these weird reasons on maybe why I don't have this weird infatuation with my brother and you do. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, where I don't know. I don't give a fuck who my brother dates. I don't give a fuck what he's doing. Like, I just don't see how this is a common thing that people want to like fight for. Like, no, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, I just don't care to that extent. I don't know. Like, it's just weird. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if my brother needed intervention or something and like he's dealing with somebody who has him hurting himself and others and stuff, like, I'm sure me and my family would get involved type shit. But he dating somebody, doing all that, like, I'm really not trying to be about the drama. Like, I really don't care. Like, weird. Just weird. But anyway, enough about that. Well, not enough about that because this is the whole freaking story. So this is going to be about the love triangle. I'd like to stay anonymous, but my ex's name for this story will be X, or we'll call him Jason or X, right? And we'll just call his sister or Claudia. So me and Jason dated for nearly 4 years. Damn. And we were high school sweethearts, and she still gave you shit? Well, shit, we don't know yet. We don't know. So when we first started dating, we went on about 2 or 3 dates with just us two. Then his sister started to tag along. It didn't bother me because the relationship was new and I was trying to be on a good page with everybody. Besides, I wanted to get to know his sister and have that sisterly bond relationship, right? And everybody always talks about with their significant other siblings. Right, understandable. A year into the relationship, I noticed that we hadn't gone on a date with just the two of us since that first time, and it bothered me. I wanted to ask Jason to just go out, just the two of us, which I did, to which his mom refused to let us out. At the time, I was 16 and he was 17. Okay, well, you guys were minors. I forgot you're high school sweethearts. I mean, it sucks, but at the end of the day, you're not an adult. Like, you can't, it sucks, but it is what it is. But I was confused about it. Maybe he had something to do that day. Maybe he didn't do his chores wrong. We weren't able to go because his sister wasn't going with. So is his sister older? Like, was she coming to play as like a chaperone type of thing? Because so far I'm not getting emotional incest vibes. It might just be the fact because you guys are minors and she's chaperoning. Did you say the age of the sister? You said I was 16 and he was 17. Yeah, it doesn't say whether she's older or younger yet. Well, hold on. Well, let's find out. And y'all, if the video is choppy, again, make sure you are streaming this in 1080p, okay? So we would go on double dates with another couple that we were both really good friends with, and his sister had to come along. See, now that makes no sense because we on a double date. Why do you need any? That's weird. So we went out on movie dates and his sister had to come along. We had a Friendsgiving and his sister basically invited herself to it even though she wasn't invited. I would go over to his house and me and him and his sister would all be there in his room. I couldn't even have alone time with him, and I don't even mean that in like a sexual way. I just wanted to be in his room with him and watch videos or do face mask or dumb stuff, but I couldn't because his sister was always there. See, now if I knew if it was an older or a young, if I knew it was an older or a younger sister, I have different opinions. So if it's a younger sister, and I also want to know, like, is she saying anything to you or is she just there? Like, is she a younger, like, what is she saying to you also? Like, because I can imagine if she's a younger sister and she just wants to tag along her big brother all the time on some clingy younger sibling shit, like, oh, you want to play, or like, oh, I want to go do this with you and your friends because I don't have any friends. Like, that's different, you know? Like, have you ever, because if that was the case, I would have told you to tell her, like, hey, we're about to have alone time, you know, do you. But if she's older, I don't know, it's kind of sounding, and the fact that the mom is like, no, you can't go anywhere unless she goes with you, it could be on some trauma response, generational trauma response shit of like, we do not want y'all two teenagers in the room alone because I know you over here talking about y'all would do face mask and shit. One thing leads to another sometimes, and then shit could happen. So I could see both sides right now, and I'm not getting emotional incest vibes. I'm getting either clingy younger sibling or older sibling and mom that's being a little bit too overbearing, right? Like, let me know, chat, what do y'all think? That's just the vibes that I'm getting here. So yeah, I don't know. So she said it was really annoying, but if she didn't come with homeboy who could not go out, and it got to the point where I would mention I want something and he would buy it and give it to his sister right in my face. What's that about? What's that about? That's weird. I told him one time I wanted these sandals. I saw it at a store and he told me to try them on, which made me think he was gonna buy them for me. Granted, I didn't expect him to or want him to because my parents always taught me to do stuff for myself, so no man could hold you accountable. Ooh, child. But the way he went about it made me think he was getting them for me, and he made me choose my size and the color I wanted, and then we went home and he gave them to his sister. Have you confronted him? That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a point, because you said you were with him for 4 years. There would have been a point where I'd had to confront somebody like, why do you always need to be there? And I'm pretty sure the answer was told to you, like, because y'all are kids or something. But like, no, really, why do you need to be there all the time? But two, why did you even ask me if I liked this or if I wanted this or tried it on if you were just going to give it to your sister? That makes no sense. I needed a belt one time and saw a cute one in the store. He bought the same exact one and gave it to his sister in front of me. Jason's mom also was very jealous of our relationship. At least that's what it felt like. When he would ask to go out with me, she would say, no, it's my turn to spend time with him. Even though they had both been home all week and never spent time together until I asked if it was okay. And she would remind me that her and ooh, it's about to get weird. Okay, y'all. Choo choo. The emotional incest train is a trucking. Here we go. Now it's happening. She would constantly remind me, cut the music. She would constantly remind me that her and Claudia were the first women in his life. That's what I'm saying. Is Claudia a woman? Like, is she a woman now? Because, like, is she older? Is she the older sister? Like, what is going on? I'm talking about it's my turn. That don't even sound right, girl. Ooh, Jesus. I lost the V card to Jason one day. We were alone. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm like, on one breath, I'm like, these people are weird. Like, why would you say some like weird shit like that? on some like the first women in your life type shit. But in the same breath, it's like the one time y'all were alone, what did y'all do? Y'all fucked. Like, so let's not sit here and act like they low-key weren't right for being that way. Now, mind you, I feel like if y'all go into the movies and like all that stuff, you gonna have to be real trifling to do some public acts like that, bro. And then that goes back to like, does he respect you? Do you respect yourself? Like, do you respect him? Like, back, like, you know, then it gets all fucking weird. But I really feel like you should be able to let your teenage kids go to the mall, go to the movies, do stuff like that. That's normal. But when it does come to being in the house, like, and then what if you do get knocked up? Then what? Now your people gonna be like, it's your fault because you left them alone. Like, dude. So yeah, they end up doing the do. They ended up doing the do when we were alone. The only time we got alone was when he took me home because my parents were old school and they think the guy should pick me up and take me home. That's so if your parents old school and his parents are over the top, I'm just like, at this point, oh no. And see, this is what I was never, and this is what I was scared about, and this is what I was scared about, because when you do over the top shit, then kids start to get sneaky, and then it goes into the whole self-respect. Do you respect them? Do you respect that I was talking about earlier? Because now look what she said. We would only hook up in his car somewhere in the dark, and it made me feel really bad. Like, bruh, that's not like, that shit makes me feel bad too. That shit makes me feel bad, like, because I don't know, that shit's just sad, bro. That shit is sad. That shit is sad. She said he didn't even make time for us to do this somewhere better. Yeah, he did not deserve you, bro. Y'all were too young to be doing what you were doing. Like, y'all were just way too, there were just so many things showing, like, you are doing way too much grown of shit for your age, because there was just too much shit butting against each other. Like, girl, I know, poor baby, right? So all this made me feel like a third wheel in my relationship, and didn't even realize I had gone from 135 pounds to 108. Oh my God. I was so sad about this relationship. It was horrible. I was feeling my worst. I would compare myself to Claudia a lot, because he was treating her the way I wanted to be treated by him. One day, Jason's aunt sat me down and told me that I had to be very grateful for Claudia, and they can't imagine their life without her. And they said I have to take her everywhere, but because before I came along, Jason and Claudia were always together. This bothered me. I don't know why. It did. Ooh, okay, so we finally get the age reveal. How old do you think Claudia is, y'all? How old y'all think Claudia is? You think she old or young? TikTok, TikTok. The results are in. If Claudia was younger, I would understand bringing her along for everything that we do. But she was only a few months younger than me. So Claudia and Jason are like Irish twins. Basically, they're only like a few months apart. No, that makes no sense. No, it does, because you said you were 16 and he was 17. So yeah, that does make sense. So she is older, but she's not that much older. She's pretty much your peer. So yeah, y'all are all in high school. Yeah, okay, that's weird that she wants to be all in your face. Like, it'd be one thing if their mom was like forcing her to always be around you because there was a fear that, you know, you guys will hook up, maybe have a baby or some bullshit like that. Because you got to understand, you guys were in a really serious relationship at a young age. But I don't know. Why is she just so down to, like, I don't know, girl. I don't know. I'm like, homegirl, do you have friends? A boy you talking to? This went on for years. 3 to be exact. Girl, you should have left. I feel like Jason got way too comfortable with me just going over his house because we couldn't go out on our way, but I wasn't. As the days went by, I lost feelings. We dated for 4 years, so by the time... Hold on, just pause. Why couldn't he come to your house? Why couldn't he come to your house? Because didn't you say your parents were strict too? I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot of complaining going on because you guys are so young. It's like you guys want to move like adults, but you can't. So there's like a lot of pressure and pushback because... I don't know, y'all. So by the time I was done with school, he was talking about moving out together. We wanted to choose a good apartment, but everything had to be about his sister. We couldn't move so far because how would his sister feel? We couldn't move to this apartment because his mom didn't think it was good enough. One time, Jason brought up how if we ever had kids, he wanted to name him a certain name. I suggested another name, to which his mom shot down because she didn't like it. And he later told me he didn't like it either, even when we had both liked it before she said anything. My thing is, y'all are too young to be talking about having no damn babies. Like, what is going on? And then that shit is giving very much like, I just want you to be the vessel to give birth to my baby, head ass, like the grandma. Like, girl, how are you even dealing with this? And what does your family think of this when you were in it? Because I know this is your ex now, but what did they think when you were in this? His sister and mom ruled our relationship, and I started to not see a future with him. I didn't want to be that bitch that said pick me or her, but I realized this was never going to change, and he was letting his family ruin his future. With all the stuff I put up with the last 3 years, it made me realize he wasn't prioritizing things right. Yes, family comes first, but he was on the verge of trying to start a new family, and we weren't going to be able to do that if his sister and mom were always coming first. I don't know if that sounds wrong and really mean, but I couldn't even name my own kid what I wanted to because his mom didn't like it. I didn't see myself living that way. Eventually, I broke it off and moved on. I'm in a way much better relationship with somebody who actually values me and treats me with respect. Well, that is very good to hear. No more cars. No more, I've noticed some happy weight, which I didn't think was true until I met my new boyfriend. I'm very glad I moved on, but being in a bad relationship for so long left me a little scarred, and sometimes it overwhelms me how good my new man treats me. In a good way, just because I've never been treated that way. Recently, Jason texted me, child, saying he finally managed to get his priorities straight. I hate when they do that. That's why you need to keep these people blocked. You need to keep these men blocked because they swear that it's you. Like, no, sir, stay over there. He texted me talking about he got his priorities straight and he wants to get me back. And I learned soon after this his sister had gotten a boyfriend and doesn't hang out with him anymore, and now hangs out with her own man. And I'm thinking that's why he said it. That's why he said now his priorities are straight. That is weird. That's weird. That's so weird. I want to know, was I wrong? No. Here, I'm going to open up the chat. She's about to ask some questions, okay? I want to know, was I wrong? I don't think so. Did I do him dirty? No, girl, you did yourself dirty. I don't plan on getting back with him because I truly love my man now, and I've actually never been this happy. If you truly love him, get that ragamuffins number out your motherfucking phone. Do not ruin it. Don't even give the possibility of ruining it by having your new man find him texting you. It does not matter. Like, he needs to go. What else? She said, I actually never been this happy. Me and my new man doing so great, but I do want to know your opinion. Was I out of place? No. Thank you for taking the time to read this long story. Love you. P.S. It's me and my new man in the last pic, and the two pictures in the same outfit, showing you the difference of me being with bro and being with my new man. Yeah, I definitely see you definitely happier. But yeah, what do y'all think? Here, let me put this on the screen. Oop. Saturn's orbit says it's hard being young and a teen navigating relationships. A lot of them feel sex isn't an even exchange for some type of love and attraction, so don't even blame yourself. That is so true. So true. Doll says, absolutely not. You deserve better. Unique says, nope. Block, block, block. Blockavelli says, block them. Charlotte says, block them. Anthony says, it was all Claudia and Jason's fault and the mom's fault. No, for real. Tantra says, that family is a little incestuous. You are not wrong at all. I feel the same way. It's the little comments for me. It's my turn for me. It's weird. Yes, Anthony. She was manipulated from like 13. That's what I'm saying. Silence says, the sister was so bored and you did the right thing, girl. Still block him though. No, seriously, because the same way how you were talking about building a future and all that shit, where does he even fit in your future when you have your kids? Who is that going to be, Uncle Jason? Oh yeah, the guy that didn't work out. Like, fuck him. Weird. Weird, 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 weird. Unique said, I dated a twin once. Never again. Shout out to all the twins in the chat. Hey, twins. Shout out to all the twins. Oh, and shout out to Mark. What's up, Mark? Yeah, I do agree with WC Oliver, or Olivier, excuse me. Girl, you should have ran after the first red flag, emotional incest flag. No, that's true, but again, got to give that grace. She was only 13. But for anybody else out there, if you see that, run for the hills. So I'm going to wrap this up with an update because she did send a little update when she resent the story in. She said, this is very important. I forgot an important part of the story. On his birthday, he didn't really want to do anything, so we went to the mall so he could buy stuff for himself, and Claudia came along and some other friends I wanted to go, and the friends came with their girlfriends, and they're all holding hands, but Jason wasn't doing any of that to me. I tried to hold his hand, but he would let it go right away. Yeah, like, this is just weird. This is just weird. Like, yeah, this is just weird. Dude, trust. You did the right thing. Don't look back. Block him. Don't ruin what you got. If you guys have any more advice for her, please put it in the comments below, okay? Put in the comments. Please give him some advice. Let's get on to this next story. I've tried to read this story multiple times, but I always put it at the end of the stream, and I never got to it. So I was like, I'm just going to add this in, make sure I get to it this go round, okay? And it is called, I Cut Off My Fake Ass Squad, okay? And they put squad in, like, parentheses. If this sounds familiar, let me know, because last week somebody done sent in their entry to another YouTuber, and it got a little weird. And it has been some time, and I do know this person does watch YouTube and shit, so, like, let me know if this sounds familiar. All right, I cut off my fake ass squad. Hey Nadja, I'm an OG tribe member since you're finessing a synthetic wig video, the pink one, the Party City one. Yes, yes. I wrote 2 stories to you in the past and I love your content. Well, thank you so much. And this is a story of why I cut off my, ooh, bitch. Thank God for the orange juice. I need to stop screaming, Jesus. Inside voice. Okay, she said, or they said, because I don't even know if this is a boy or girl. But this is the story of why I cut off my best friend because she was fake as hell, as well as her whole squad. For the sake of this story, you can call me Sunny, okay? That's cute. I've always liked that name. So I met my best friend junior year of high school in 2018. I am a queer Sagittarius person. You can call me he, her, or they. All right. And I am a Capricorn. Oh, and she is a Capricorn. I am a Sagittarius. Okay, so shout out to all of these Sagittarius and the Capricorns in the chat. Make sure you drop your sign in the chat and in the comments. So, cool. You're a queer person, bet. So we're going to call my Capricorn friend Ruby. We knew of each other since freshman year, but we ended up not talking until junior year when she found out I had a class with her now ex-boyfriend. In the beginning, things were cool. I felt accepted by her because I was bullied and literally had no friends. Oh. So having a friend for once was nice, so I thought. She would send me to spy on her ex. Red flag number 1. And my dumb ass, because I believe in girl code, I would do it from time to time. Our senior year, she got me involved in so much drama with freshmen over the same dude. Ew. Ew. Oh, and shout out to Nyala. I didn't see you there, sis. Hey, girl. Hey. But ew. Like, girl, that's when you got to step in and be like, hey, friend, this isn't a good look. This isn't a good look. In my Kelsey voice, we laugh at girls like this. Like, what are you doing? Stand up. So, fast forward to summer 2019, I was getting bullied a lot because of my sexuality and gender identity, and I decided to drop out in May. Oh no. Ruby was a very big support system of mine during that time, and I will always be grateful for that. She got into some social media shit with some freshman girls I mentioned earlier, and we will call them Hood Booger 1 and Hood Booger 2. Oh my god, here we go. Here, y'all. They got me involved because I was her friend, and they knew I used to get bullied in high school and wanted to trigger me. So at this point, y'all are seniors. Like, y'all are about to be adults. Like, you can't be fighting little kids. You'll go to jail. You go to jail. They posted pics of me online bullying and harassing me. They ended up deleting them because people mass reported the posts. The beef eventually died down because Ruby tried to run up on both Hood Booger 1 and 2, and they weren't with the shit. Well, of course, y'all are grown. Like, I wouldn't want to fight. If I was a freshman, I just got out of middle school, and now you got somebody about to go pay taxes, about to whoop my ass. Like, I wouldn't want to fight either. Like, goddamn. So throughout all this, Ruby's ex, we'll call Clowny, never said shit. Instead, see, and that's toxic as fuck. You doing all that fighting, scrapping, internet beefing, about to catch a whole child abuse charge, and this man don't even give a damn. Instead, he told his mom and sister, and they ended up reporting all of us to the police for harassment. Wow, that's fucked up. So how he played it off to his mama was like, yeah, all these girls at school just have this crazy crush on me, and they're doing all this stuff. They're fighting. They're doing this online stuff. I am the victim. I'm not in a relationship with none of them. Like, I am the victim. And the mom filed a police report. Technically, he's within his right to do that. That is so crazy. Wow. How the tables have turned. How the turns have tabled. Wow. Nothing ended up happening, but I reached out to him, his mom, and sister and clarified I was not involved in their mess, and I apologized for the misunderstanding. Shit was calm after that, but what happened next is what made me start to realize that Ruby wasn't a real friend. So fall of 2019, she started college and reconnected with some childhood friends. We will call them Jade and Antonio. Jade is a Leo and Antonio is a Sag like me. Shout out to all the Leos in the chat. Make sure you drop your sign in the comments or the chat. So Antonio happened to go to school with Clowny. Clowny transferred to another school at this point because of the drama, still playing victim. Shit, he may have been the victim. We don't know. Shit, he may have been. So Ruby would send Antonio to spy on Clowny. Yeah, like at this point, I really do think that Clowny might be the victim and that Ruby manipulated you and everybody. So Ruby connected me with Jade and Antonio. Jade was a lesbian and Antonio was gay, so I felt like I could connect to them. Everything was cool in the beginning, and we were slowly becoming close. At that time, I was still healing from my bullying experience, so I had a wall built up. But come to find out, they were complaining behind my back to Ruby about why I wasn't social or open around them, and Ruby tried to explain to them what I went through, but they didn't seem to understand. She told me that they felt some type of way about how I acted around them. Red flag number two, excuse me. This is, I wouldn't even call that a red flag. If anything, it would just be on some like, that's like, okay, well maybe I'm not your cup of tea, so I'm not about to force this type shit. But this is definitely not red flag number 2 at Ruby. This is like red flag number like 5. So that made me feel a little uncomfortable. I think they might be a little possessive of her, especially because they're childhood friends and you came along in high school. So we had a group FaceTime call and talked things out, and we linked 2 days later, but there was still obvious tension. So Ruby, Antonio, and Jade were all clicked up along with 2 more of Ruby's friends while I was literally walking around the mall behind them by myself. That's so sad. I talked to Ruby about it the next day, and she made up an excuse that they were upset about something else. Why do we gotta be walking on eggshells based off of how your two friends feel, girl? Just go be friends with them. Like, weird. Also, we once were in another group FaceTime call. Ruby and Jade are Puerto Rican and Antonio is Dominican, and they were saying how they wouldn't date black people. Their excuse was because black people don't know Spanish and most of their families don't know English. Get what in the racism? I am mixed, black and Puerto Rican. Girl, me too. Like, that's why I'm just staring in disbelief right now. Like, what in the racism? So do you not think there are black people from Spain? Like, what the hell? Okay, girl. In the beginning, I didn't think much of it because it's no secret that Puerto Ricans and Dominicans are known for being anti-black. But that's not an excuse. Like, and it's come to the point where honestly, we need to stop doing that little bullshit and stop acting like this generation of people is not going to age out eventually, and it's going to be up to us to set the status quo. Like, and we got to start holding each other accountable because this is ridiculous. Like, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to come for you or nothing because you were the minority in that situation. I'm just saying, if anybody else out there, don't minimize that shit, bro. Like, because we have to set the standard. That's a mess. So what pissed me off was that Ruby said black guys don't like to learn anything. Yeah, girl, I'm sorry. It's time to go, friend. These people sound ignorant as hell. And then the fact that these are people that she knew from like Sandbox. Trust and believe this is her how she really feels. Like, so in January 2020, before the pandemic, they all linked up and didn't invite me, but Ruby sent me pics of them together. Yeah, you need to stop hanging out with them. I was hurt and I expressed that to them, but Jade told me it was because a person I didn't like was there. Why are you even hanging out with people I don't like? That was one thing I used to do when I was younger. I used to be like, oh, well, I'm not going to force you to be friends with everybody. You know, like, you can hang out with your people. I'll hang out with my people. But if you're hanging out with somebody I don't like, then I'm not going to show up. But I won't hang out with, like blah, blah, blah. No, fuck that, bro. Same energy across the board. I don't want to fuck with somebody that you don't fuck with because I need to know your reasoning for not fucking with them. Because if your reasoning for not fucking with them is stupid, like, I'm going to talk to you about it and be like, bro, that's dumb. But if it's serious, I'm not trying to ration with you on why I should, like, no, I really, Because whatever happened to you can guarantee it will happen to me. So if your shit is petty, like, oh, they borrowed a pair of shorts from me and they didn't give it back for a week. I am going to be like, okay, that's petty, but now I know that if I do let this person borrow some shorts, I'm probably not going to see it for a fucking week. So I might want to take that into consideration. Like, you know, little stuff like that. So yeah, they need to go. They need to go. In conclusion, Ruby was fake. Her friends were fake. Ruby only used people to keep tabs on her ex, and once she couldn't use you anymore, she would ditch you. Jade and Antonio were shallow, as well as Ruby. This situation really hurt me when it first happened and made me question myself to the point where I took a break from my boyfriend because I felt like I lost myself in this and I needed to get myself back. I felt used, manipulated, and like there was something wrong with me. But it's okay because it helped me grow. My boyfriend and I got back together in May of 2020 and have been rocking strong ever since. Anyways, thanks for reading my long ass story. Love ya lots. Oh, I'm gonna put the chat on the screen. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta know when to hold them, when to fold them, and when to walk the hell away. Because, dude, that was some BS. Like, that was some mean girl BS. And unfortunately, a lot of people choose history over anything else. And she felt at home being a homophobic colorist bitch with her fucking Sandbox friends. And that did not fit the mold of herself that she had that she was showing you. And if you weren't trying to get with the program and you weren't trying to kiss her friend's ass and like, because it's a two-way street, how her friends were trying to be like, oh, they're not trying to, you know, really trying to make it work. Are you trying to make it work? Are you trying to start a conversation? Are you trying to figure out, are you interested in getting to know this person? Like, yeah, but I do agree with Saturn's orbit in the chat. I am glad that you healed from this and you took some time to yourself to get right, because that is a mess. These people are, and just know you were not the problem. If you ever have little doubts like, was that the problem? Just know you were not the problem. Just know. All right. Kiki said, I'm glad you dropped them because they just seem very temporary. No, they did. It was giving college friends, and then once they graduate, they're not going to talk to her again because, like, where were they your whole high school? They weren't there. Against Army says, sounds like Ruby is that friend that gets herself into some BS and expects her friends to fight her fights. That is exactly what it sounds like. Doll says you saved your self-worth by cutting that group off. Definitely did. Breeza says some people love to be mean girls. Shit is weird. It is very weird, especially into adulthood. Like once you are 18 and up, you're like slowly getting out of teenagerhood and you're going into your 20s. I'm gonna need you to really reevaluate why you have that mean girl streak in you. Like what the fuck happened to you that made you be that way? Like what happened to you type shit. But yeah, we are on story. We're about to get into story number 3. This one is really short, so I'm just going to get into it. It is called Sperm Donor Drama. Girl, y'all are funny with these titles. All right, so hey Nadja, I hope you are well. I need some outside advice on the situation I'm currently going through, and I'd like to stay anonymous. So I have a twin sister, and we were adopted by my dad when we were a little over 1 year old. So long story short, our dad is not our biological dad, okay? But he had you when you were a baby, but he's not your bio dad. So my dad took us in and raised us as his own with my mom, and until we were 10, I thought that he was our dad. Then we got told about our bio dad late one night, and my mom showed us pictures. It was a shock to me, but I remember very little about it. We got told again a couple of years later before middle school. Then since we were older, my mom told us more details. Pretty much, she was in an abusive relationship. Ooh, T. Wait, so that's your biological mom? Wait. Pretty much, she was in an abusive relationship. I was not expecting to get all Maury up in here. Hold on. He was an asshole and did some horrible things and has gotten accused of horrible things. Till a couple of months ago, I've always been like, F that guy. I'll see him on his deathbed, etc. My twin was the one who reached out first. We got invited to go to his dad's funeral, and we went. That whole side of the family was so shocked, and he almost fainted when he saw us. That was the first time we met him. We had plans to meet up and start a relationship, but he ghosted us. Wow. Wow. So her twin reached out first and went to their dad's funeral. Gotcha. Now that is out of the way, now it's present day. And I had gotten curious about our genealogy and family history. I wanted to know what he knew, so I found him, which was hard because he had no social media. And we started talking. He brought up how he's taken it hard since his dad died and stopped talking to everyone. So eventually, a couple of weeks later, we FaceTime with my sister, and he asked us why we disliked him so much. Ooh. And we told him everything that mom has said about him and our family, and pretty much that he is racist, homophobic, a Klan member. A Klan member. He was a racist, homophobic Klan member who abused our mother. Wow. Talking about why are you mad at me? Sir, I don't know you. Like, I'm sure that's how y'all felt too. Like, girl, I don't even know you, sir. Talking about why am I mad at you? Weird. Make sure y'all like the stream if this is getting good. Make sure y'all like the stream. We've already been on here for 45 minutes. Make sure you like the stream. This is crazy. And even though this story is anonymous, I do know who this person is. And this is incredible. This is crazy. He looks surprised and denied everything that we just put on him. The clan member and all that stuff, denied it. And no, this person that sent in, they are not black. They're not black. Someone in the chat just said, are they black? No. Well, obviously. Well, I don't know. I mean, you could if you were biracial and didn't know, I guess. But nah. So he denies everything. He said, yes, I was an asshole. And yes, me and your mom got into fights. But I never abused her. And I'm not any of those things. Which I think if he was, then he wouldn't have anything to do with the both of us. Because my son is half Mexican and my sister is a lesbian or gay. She's in the spectrum of being gay. So that makes sense. Like, I'm not about to put myself, my kids, my family at risk because you, a stranger who just so happened to give me DNA, give me life, you know? Nah, bro. No. And then you got a dad too. Like, you have a dad. So it's like, right, so yes to the Klan? So you was in the Klan? Like, what the hell was that about? So he says, I will take a lie detector test. Let's go, Maury. And I said, okay, well, it won't really make a difference, but it will clear your name. I love my mom, and I believe her. I tried even as far to go online records to see if there was any documents of, you know, maybe some arrests or something. But nothing. My brother calls and starts cursing and yelling, asking, why would you... Oh, wait, no, hold on. So my sister ends up telling my brother about talking to our bio dad and how I brought up the option of a lie detector test. I did no such thing. He brought it up himself. Then she was saying that I was drinking and brought up the allegations and the test. No, ma'am. We both talked about the allegations and brought them up. Pretty much putting it all on me so she's not in the hot seat of wanting to, you know, find out where they came from. So my brother calls me and starts cursing and yelling, saying, why would you ever do that in the first place? You are such a disrespectful little bee. Oh, See, now this is what we're not about to do. And then I'm guessing the brother is younger than you. And he is the person who you call dad's son. So technically that's your brother, but your half brother, right? He called you a little bitch. Talking about how fucking dare you, you little bitch. Oh, sir, I'll slap the fire ass. Like, see, I can't. I'm an older sibling. Like, I cannot. Without even hearing anything, I had to say, he says, tell mom what you told your biological father or I will. So I had no choice. I didn't want my brother telling her some twisted ass version of events. So I told her, and she was calm but disappointed, feeling like I broke her trust. She never said, don't tell anyone this. So she's openly discussed it so many times that I didn't even give it a second thought when asked by him, why do we dislike him? I'm upset about the whole thing. My brother and I still aren't good, and my sister and I are talking, but I told her I didn't like that she threw me under the bus. There's so much more I could go into, but this email will be way too long. So Nadja and Tribe, what do you think of this situation? Am I an asshole for being curious and wanting the truth? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks, y'all. I'm gonna put the chat on the screen. What do y'all think? I personally feel like you were just doing what a lot of us do when we come of age, which is we want to know where we came from. We want to know where we came from, you know? Here, let me put the chat on the screen. We just want to know where we came from, and your mom did bring it up. I think it's really shady that your sister was being so weird about it. Especially because she's the one that reached out. That is very weird. I would talk to your sister in private about that and just be like, hey, like, what the fuck is up with that? As for the lie detector test, I mean, let's be real. It's kind of pointless. You either want him in your life or not. If you do want him in your life, you are going to see if he is homophobic, if he is this, if he is that. Don't bring your kids into it right away. You should just feel it out type stuff. As for the lie detector test, I mean, I don't know how easy that is to get your hands on, but I would just do it just because it's already been brought up. Like, it's already been brought up. Like, people in your family are already upset about it, so fuck it. Right, whole fam just switched up on you. Like, that was crazy. And I do feel like your mom just may have just like some resentment going on, because I don't know, the fact that everybody is just so offended that you went out to go and do your research is what's really interesting to me. So yeah, Groovy Kiddo says, no, of course not. You deserve to know about your family. Exactly. Unique says, I just want the results of the lie detector test. Oh my gosh. Thank you, KK, for the compliments on my hair. Thank you. KK also says, lie detector tests aren't valid at all. The results can be easily manipulated or swayed, but I don't think you were wrong, sis. No, that is true, because if you just spend some time with somebody and you learn their habits, like, because if he's a drinker or a smoker or anything like that, that can fuck up the results of the lie detector test, make it inconclusive. Like, so yeah, it can be manipulated. You're right. Science says she literally has no idea who her dad is. Hold on, let me see. She has literally no idea who her dad is, other than what her mom told her. I'm not understanding why anyone would be upset with her. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, damn, I can't go figure it out by myself. Like, that would make me question you even more. Like, why? What the fuck? Justin says, I personally wouldn't have seeked him out and took that path, because that curiosity can kill people. I would have cursed him the fuck out, in my opinion, because what the fuck? I would have gave my siblings the quiet treatment. No, for real. Like, I don't like how the brother was talking to her, and I don't like how her own fucking twin just, like, was like, fuck it. I don't like that either. Les says, they should tell you the facts and have a discussion about it. You have a right to learn on your own. If you want more info, they have no right to keep things from you. And sometimes kids do have to learn for themselves. Yep. And it definitely hits differently when they find out for themselves, especially if you're a kid like me. I'm nosy as hell. I be all up in my family tree and all that stuff. Like, I know so much stuff that people don't know that I know. And it would have been really nice to have people come to me personally and have like a little thing. So like, I definitely could feel for you. And it's a whole other wound when it's like adoption, you know? So yeah, if you guys have any advice, give them some advice in the comments below. This one is a little lengthy. This next one we're about to read, it's called How Me and My Best Friend of 10 Years Almost Fought. Almost, girl. This one's a little lengthy. Okay. So, hey Nadja, I've been watching your channel for a few months now, and I really like your tribetea segment. And I feel like I have a good story for you to share. It's a long one because I'm very detailed. So I sent this story a minute ago, but I wanted to redo some typos and have you read this on my channel, and do not use my name. I'm in my 20s. I'm a Sagittarius. Shout out to all the Sagittarius in the chat. Shout out to y'all. Y'all got a lot of y'all stories today. The ex-bestie in this story is a Virgo. Shout out to all the Virgos in the chat. And my story is about how me and my so-called best friends got to the point where we almost laid hands on each other. To preface, her and I grew up referring to each other as cousins, since her grandmother and one of my older cousins were in a long-term relationship. That's interesting. So we became best friends one day after she dyed my hair for me, and we bonded over our troubled relationships with our moms at the time. We both had moms that weren't really mommying, basically. Anyway, after we formed a trauma bond, we became inseparable. She basically played the role of big sister in the beginning, then I became the big sister as the time went on. Well, that sounds like a really cute relationship. So fast forward to her birthday a few years ago, the day the story takes place, she had this boyfriend that I couldn't stand because they were no good for each other, and he was an abusive cheater. Oh no. We're just gonna call him the boyfriend. He didn't like me because I overheard a conversation he was having once where he was bad-mouthing her and saying he was going to stay at whoever was on his phone's house. Oh, wow. Because he was tired of her. And of course I told her, because you're not about it right. So after they already argued, she asked him to pick me up so we could go out, knowing he already don't like me. But he does. And once I get there, I brought a bottle to her house and we pre-gamed. And while she finished getting ready, and we started the night. So yeah, like, girl, of course he's not going to like you because you're the breath of fresh air and the reality to your friend, because the reality is that he sucks. So he's not trying to be reminded that he sucks, but he sucks. Okay. So we're on our way to wherever we're going, and her car stops moving on the highway. The boyfriend is our DD, and he has a friend with him in the front, and me and my bestie and her other best friend were in the back already drunk. A cop sees us and turns on his bruh. So what happened? So y'all went out, got lit, and whoever was driving just stopped driving in the middle of the highway? What in the DD? What type of DD is that? And what were y'all in, like a truck? How many people are in this damn car? Of course, the cop sees us and turns on his lights to help us get on the shoulder. But while he's doing that, the boyfriend informs us that he doesn't have a freaking valid driver's license. Why is he the DD if he don't got a license? So he's telling us to be quiet and cool since we're drunk. My bestie is trying to let him know it's her car, it was, and she has a license. But he just kept telling her to shut the fuck up. And we're all panicking. Really, sis, shut the fuck up. Because it doesn't matter whether, if you had a license, then you should have been the DD and drove your own car. Oh my God. So while this is happening, I'm texting my boyfriend at the time. He is my husband now. Okay. Because he did roadside assistance. Ooh, wow. So I was seeing if he could pick us up or help with the car. When the officer comes over, he asks if we're good. Luckily, the car started working again and helped us safely back on the road. So once we get out of the clear of the cop, he starts going in on my best friend, saying she doesn't listen, and he would slap her in front of her friends because she was trying to help the situation and he was a bum ass dude. I would have been like, sir, I wish you do smack her. We can pull over. I wish you would smack her. Like I said, we go in for each other before, so she couldn't even respond. I yelled, you are not slapping anybody in front of me, period. Because I don't know what he thought it was, but it wasn't happening. So he starts cursing me out, calling me all types of bitches and saying to get my man. So I did. I called him and I was telling him what was happening and shared my location, as you should. Now it's about to be a problem because look, this is not what we're about to do. Like, and this is fucked up, but you may be putting your hands on my friend, but you're not about to put your hands on me, and you're not about to put your hands on her in front of me. Like, you best you will be dealt with. Like, what? So I called my man. While I was distracted texting my man, she is yelling at the boyfriend, talking about, don't talk to my bestie like that. She comes before you. Just basically defending me over him. So that makes him even more mad. And the three of us are just yelling and arguing. So bestie starts telling him to pull the car over and get out, and he doesn't. So she threatens to call the police. Oh my God. And you know he's riding dirty, and we just had a lucky encounter, so he wasn't trying to test his luck. So he finally listens after that and gets out the first exit he sees and finds somewhere to park. It was the middle of nowhere with this grassy field, so it was scary as hell. And once he parks, we all end up getting out the car, and they just start screaming at each other. She went in the trunk and pulled out a bag with his stuff and threw it in the street. Oh my Lord. She snatched his phone and shattered it. Threw her car keys. Why did you throw your car keys, girl? Her friend went and found the keys, and I told her I would put them in my purse. All the while they're both doing and saying things to hurt one another and end up back in each other's faces fighting. Oh my God. So I got in between the boyfriend's friend and my bestie, and I like mushed him in his forehead, and I was like, why are you holding a woman? Get your friend. So then he got in my face, but just in time, my boyfriend pulled up. Let's go. So he basically pulls up and clears out our car so he can take us where we're going. Fuck that. Like, what did he do? Did he tell them like, hey, yo, who are you talking to? What was said? Like, look, I begged him not to fight anyone, even though they were very disrespectful, because I wanted to try to save the night. It was her birthday after all. I forgot, girl. So we get safely away from the whole situation. We go out and have a good time, and I buy all of us a couple of shots at the bar. Girl, no. So what did he do? So what? Do y'all have the car like on the crane, just driving around club hopping right now? Like, what is going on right now? One of our besties met us out, and she becomes the DD and takes us to another bestie's house that bestie's house to end the night. Tell me why when we go back to bestie's house that night, the dude was there in her bed waiting for her. And guess what she did? She got in the bed with him. I was so mad I left. The next day, she hits me up about her car keys, and I'm on my way to drop them off to her. But then I realized they're not in my purse. She's using someone else's phone because hers was broken. So I relay the message to that person and tell them to check the girl's car who dropped us off that night, because she said they did and it wasn't there. Keep that in mind. Wow. So I panic and go back to the bar we're at. I look at my boyfriend's car, I look in the street, I look everywhere. It is nowhere. Then I look on Instagram and I see this dude propose to her. Oh, he's a love bomber. He needs to go. He's a love bombing, and I'm really scared to say N-word, the narcissist, because you had that nasty explosive night. I'm pretty sure that was the first time he ever did that in front of you, right? Like, and what does his Band-Aid? You're going to propose to her. You're going to slither your slimeball ass into her bed for one. Then you're going to propose. Your friend is drinking dumb bitch juice and she is in the sunken place. You need to save her. You need to save her. She's in the sunken place, girl. She is in hell. She is in hell, girl. You need to save her. He proposed and she says yes. Not only am I mad she says yes, so I'm also low-key mad that such an event happened and I wasn't there for the proposal. He had all her close family and friends there except for me. And who do you think the maid of honor is going to be? Not you. Granted, I would not have supported it anyway, but still, why not invite your best friend to something like that? Because women do not plan their proposals. That's a guy's thing. So he didn't like you and he didn't invite you. It's fucked up, dude. It's fucked up. Anyway, so after I see that, I'm mad now and I'm in my feelings because I feel betrayed in a way. A couple days go by and I don't hear from her. Just subs on Snap and IG. Then she finally hits me up a week later asking if I would go half on getting her new car keys. I blatantly said hell no, ask your fiance. I blamed him for the situation because although we were all wrong, he initiated the argument by threatening her. However, the boyfriend and her, no, okay, so fuck that. Y'all were all wrong because y'all were all drunk and being sloppy, and because realistically, girl, you should not have put those keys in your purse. That was not your car, like, but that was some drunk shit. He fucked up being fucking abusive and trying to put his hands on people and shit. Like, she said, they said that I should have just minded my own business. Lesson learned for sure, because she started going in on me, threatening me, saying she knows where I live. Wow, over some car keys, babes. She said she's going to bust the windows out my boyfriend's car, which was new. And was an Audi A4, and was talking about my boyfriend, saying he was a nut since he didn't try to fight her man. Girl, I begged him not to fight your man. Just all this extra stuff. But all this energy was directed at me and my boyfriend instead of her man. I was so mad. I just wanted to fight her at this point. Mind you, this was our first argument ever in our whole friendship, which was 10 years at that point, and it ended over a fight that wasn't even about us. Bro, that's how it be. That's how it be. Like, I'm telling you. Because my little blow up friendship with the storytime and shit with the ex-BFF, me and that person never argued. It always be those type of relationships where you kind of have to be, you got to watch out for that, because normal relationships, you should have disagreements. That's normal. Like, and the fact that the one argument you had was like this explosive to the point where you're not friends anymore, crazy. So We went 3 years without talking. Guys, you are doing a disservice to yourself if you cut somebody off and you pick that shit back the fuck up. Because all you're doing is showing that person that you have no respect for yourself. And some people could say that's harsh, but I've done it multiple times. I've went into my past and tried to reconnect and be nice and cordial and shit. You can not have ill will towards somebody and not have them in your life and up your ass and in your face, because sometimes time in a season, like some people just don't fit in a certain seasons, and when you try to make them fit, you start to realize why you never fucked with them in the first place. So yeah, she said she spent 3 years without talking to her, and then one day decided to reach out through Instagram, had a 3-hour convo, caught up, found out that they were still together and he had cheated on her the whole time. He even cheated on her with someone in her house, not their house, her house. Not surprised because that was her car. He gave her an STD twice and choked her until she couldn't breathe, and she was still messing with him. And I told her, get away from him ASAP, and was trying to encourage her to leave, but she just wouldn't. Oh my God. Remember when I said, oh, and by the way, they found the keys. The kicker is she did find the keys in the second DD's car. Wow. Shocker. After the convo, I felt like we could try again, so I went out with her twice and tried to mend the friendship, but we ended up arguing over something I posted that had nothing to do with her, that she found offensive, so we just ended things again. It was a post of my current best friend and I talking about her buying a house and how I got my master's degree and how we're trying to elevate our lives, and I captioned it something like real bestie goals and said we should be encouraging each other to grow and build rather than gossiping about boys, partying and drinking every weekend. And she took offense because that's all she does, I guess. So she hit me up saying I shouldn't put people down for liking to party and drink. I tried explaining that I wasn't. Girl, yes you were. And that I was simply stating that as a note to myself because I want all my relationships to be healthy, and there's nothing wrong with partying, but that shouldn't be all you and your friends have in common. That is true, but that is not what you said in the post. She didn't get it and made it about her. Now that is weird. She should not have made it about her, because unless you tagged her, it shouldn't have been about her. So the whole friendship was just so toxic now that I look back. I feel like I was growing up and she was standing still. Yeah, I feel like her definition of growing up was doing a relationship shit with her boyfriend, like moving in, getting married. Like, I think that was her definition of growing up, and yours was more so doing, like, introspective work. So I'm glad it didn't work out. In the 3 years we went without talking, she was literally in the same place in life and had went back to school. And she was in the same place in life. I had went back to school, got married, moved to a new state, started my career. Just saying that to say, when you grow out of a friendship, just let that shit be, because it might be what's holding you back. You have to let go of trauma bonds, and I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, y'all. Say in the chats about this one. Yeah, I always say, y'all, like, where I leave people where you found them. Leave people where you found them, and if you do decide to go back and they were right where you left them, you might not want to reconnect. Don't get me wrong, like, reconnecting isn't always a bad thing because people do change. But if there's no change being done, then yeah, I'm gonna leave you where I left you. Let's Get Lectual said, you knew what you were doing with that post, though. That's what I was saying. I'm like, come on now, sis. Like, you just now reconnected with a girl. Like, come on now. Like, it was obvious that that post was uplifting your current bestie while also downplaying other people that aren't as good as your bestie. Like, let's keep it real. Like, you knew what you was doing with that post, girl. You knew what you was doing with that post. And the fact that it was a shoe fit type. Like, come on now. Doll says, you can't say someone who doesn't want to save themselves, right? Les says, unfortunately, she will not leave that relationship. No, she will not. I don't know what is going on with that, but that is very sad. She needs to get out of that relationship. Saturn's Orbit says, she did know what she was doing with that post. That's why you should never surround yourself with people who have done you dirty. No, for real. Jamila says, I was going to ask, when would you recommend to reconnect? Yeah, I recommend to reconnect when there has been some change seen, you know, like when they are no longer that person anymore. Like, I could tell you right now, if you knew me from when I was a teenager, you do not know me today. Shit, even if you knew me at 21, you do not know me today. Like, I'm a completely different person. Me and you would need to sit down, have a coffee, and get to know each other. Like, Brianna says people come and go, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everything happens for a reason, but we all do grow and change and have to get with like-minded people, and that is that. Like, I told myself, I'm turning 26 in 4 weeks, I think. Three or 4 weeks, I think. Shout out to all my Taurus, by the way. I am not a Taurus, but shout out to all my Taurus. Yeah, I turn 26 in a few weeks, and yeah, bruh. I'm just trying to be with like-minded people. I am no longer trying to hang out or be acquaintances or surround myself with people who want what I got, or have any type of envious energy or anything like that. Like, I'm not trying to build nobody up. I'm not trying to sponsor nobody. I'm not trying to cut the fucking music, because I'm being dead ass. Like, I'm just at a point in my life. I've done so much people pleasing in my youth. Like, I just have no desire to. I just have no desire. I haven't even, like, I've even got to the point where, like, I don't even care about explaining myself sometimes. Like, I'll just be like, okay, I'm clocked out. Like, I really am over it. I spent so much of my life explaining myself to people and shit. Like, I really am over it. But yeah, I always say, like, rule of thumb with reconnecting with people, if it's online, that ain't it. It got to be some, like, I just ran into you in public type shit. And then, like, okay, let's catch up, let's get a cup of coffee, or okay, I'm gonna leave your ass right where you are. It was nice seeing you, nice bumping into you, right? But you got to be real with yourself, because I hate bringing this shit up, but my ex tried to do that to me in public, like, not even a few months after he just did some traumatic shit with my old roommate busting into my fucking apartment. Like, you see me in public, you want to be on some, oh, hey, how's it going? No time has passed, my guy. Like, y'all need to be real with yourself. Like, has it been an adequate amount of time? Do they look different? Do they speak different? The place that I'm bumping into them at, is it a positive location? Like, are we at the club, or are we at the shopping center? Like, what's going on? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you really need to think. Just think, okay? Oh, and shout out to Asma. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. She says hi from Canada. Caught the stream. Well, let's move on. This is a short one. It says, I was called out by a murderer. Drama. The drama. I'm just gonna get into it. So, hey Nadja, super proud of your channel growth. In my heart, you are my soul sister. Well, thank you so much. I am a Taurus sun, Aqua moon, and Libra rising. Again, shout out to all the Taurus. Shout out to all the Aquarius and the Libras as well. Okay, shout out to y'all too. I know y'all hate high school stories, but please stay with me, okay? So in high school, back when I was a freshman in JROTC, they took us on a field trip to jail. To jail, girl. St. Clair County Jail. It's on Beyond Scared Straight, Season 3, Episode 3. That's crazy. The one in Jacksonville is on Season 3, too. I think it's Season 3, Episode 7 or some shit like that. They took down Season 3. I can't find Season 3 anywhere whenever I want to watch it. But they told us to write a list of kids who we thought were going down the wrong path. So we did. Not they had y'all snitching. One of the boys who was on the list already was already on Beyond Scared Straight before. Let's call him Jay. So we get there, and the prisoners are giving this dude hella respect. And they sit the bad kids up in the front and brought out the inmates to talk to us. These dudes were hella aggressive, treating us as if we were the criminals. You said, what state is this? This was St. Clair County, so I don't know. I was scared, but the thing is, when I get scared or anxious, I smile. Yeah, you can't be smiling in the Scared Straight Taurus, girl. Oh my God. So they bring out 3 inmates and they tell us their story. Mind you, I'm scared, so I'm smiling, but I'm working really hard not to smile, but it didn't work. There was this one inmate called Ron, and he was on Beyond Scared Straight too, and he recognized Jay, and they dapped up. And oh my God, and he gave Jay a seat, and he told us his story. His mom was being abused by her boyfriend, and when he found out about it, he beat the boyfriend with a lamp so many times in the head. But when the cops arrived, he was dead on the scene, and his eyes had popped out. A female inmate told her story about how she was hanging out with some dudes, and the man robbed and murdered somebody and threw him in the trunk and, you know, assaulted the girl. Oh my God. Okay, so the female inmate who assaulted the girl was giving her little sob story or whatever, and I'm stressed out because it's so overwhelming. That's what I'm saying. Why did they be putting kids in these? Like, I would be so overwhelmed hearing about little kids getting assaulted and put in trunks. I'd be like, oh my God. And I'm like blurring out a lot of other things that she said for monetization reasons. But no, so I'm just praying no one sees me smiling extra hard because I am so overwhelmed. But no, the female inmate saw me and called me out in front of everyone. 40 plus eyes on me. She pointed at me and yelled, "What the fuck is so funny, bitch?" I promised I wanted to evaporate. The guards get up and grab me and bring me to the front and told me since I wanted to be a cackler, I could cackle with the bad kids. So the prison tour is starting, and since now I'm with the bad kids, our group went first. And y'all, I was still smiling. My classmates told me I was being a jerk and making it hard for the rest of them, but Jay did not care at all. Everybody knew him already. So they start off by showing us solitary. At this point, I'm trying to stay in the back, but then somebody talking about where that girl at. A female officer then grabbed me by the shoulder, put me in solitary, and said, "Since you think it's funny, you could be the first we put in here, Smiley," and then close the door. And I can hear her laughing and telling the rest of them how bad it stinks in there and to ask me what it smelled like when I get out. Ugh. We continued the tour to one of the units, and prisoners were banging on glass, yelling at us, calling us names, making sexual advances. Like, bro, we were 14, 15. The entire time, the female guard is still giving me problems. OMG, I'm at work typing this, and tell me why my boss shows me pics of a random black man and gonna tell me that's her uncle. What, girl, what are you talking about? Anyways, so when the tour was over, we went back to the same room. The prisoners were still there, and since we were the only ones in the room at the time, since everyone had been split up into groups, we got to talk through the one-on-one. You know when they do the one-on-one with the prisoners, right? The girl who called me out got up and sat next to me and then asked me why I had the nerve to smile when she was sharing her story, and I had to tell her it wasn't a laugh. And she started spilling her feelings, saying how I didn't know how she was felt being in jail for 10 plus years over something that wasn't her fault. So Jay is chopping it up with the rest of them, kicking as if they're all BFFs. Then something strange happened. The guard gets a page, and we were escorted out the building. I saw they were making everyone leave, but wouldn't tell us why. But someone in another group said they went into the women's cells, and mid-tour, they heard screaming. And turns out one of the inmates has stuck a broomstick up somebody's booty that lived down the hall from them. That is traumatizing. That is so traumatizing. I remember when I went home and told my mom, she didn't have much of a reaction. But writing this, I brought it up again, and I guess I left all the important details out because she was so shocked I had experienced that, then went home to play Sims. But I hope you like this story. I had a hard time writing it because so much happened. I had a hard time putting it into words. Love you, tribe. Y'all, don't go to jail. Don't go to jail. Do not go to jail. Do everything you can to stay out of jail. That was traumatic. Are you serious? That was traumatic. That girl said a broomstick. What in the 13 reasons? I would have sued too. Like, yo, I got traumatized. Like, what the hell was that? Ugh. Right, for school? Like, we needed this for school? This was necessary for school? For what? There is no reason for children to be going through that. That's what I'm saying. As an adult, I would be scarred if I saw that. Grown adults are traumatized from jail and prison. Like, that's why I never understood the programs. I told y'all I have a story time on my channel. My brother actually went to one of those programs, and like, it doesn't really do anything. Like, my brother, yeah, he's not in jail, but he still has behavioral issues and shit. Like, that shit didn't do anything. Right, be like, Mom, guess what I did in school today? Right, that's crazy. You said, y'all, I didn't even tell my mom. Look, you said you just told her about a year ago. Oh, by the way, the person is in the chat. So you didn't even tell them when you came home from school. You just told them, like, in adulthood what happened. Wow. Yeah, you'd be surprised how much shit we start to remember in our early 20s. And we're like, damn, I definitely suppressed that. Justin said, baby, I'm traumatized now, and I wasn't even the one there. No, seriously, like, what the hell? What in the 13 reasons? State-funded trauma. Well, y'all, I know I said I was going to read 7, but I'm only going to read 6 today. I'm going to read one more, okay? I'm going to read one more. Because the 7th one was also about high school, and I feel like we've already read 2 high school stories today, so, you know, let's keep it cute. Let's keep it cute. All right, this one is called Tribetea, Should I Blame It on the L? Okay, let's get into it. So, hey Nadja, I had sent in this story to your last email, but when I read it over, it was way too descriptive, and you never know who actually watches the same YouTube person. Thank you for putting that into consideration. I really greatly appreciate you for taking that responsibility and ownership, because some people be acting like I am an agent of chaos in their personal lives. Like, thank you so much for that. Shout out to Artemis. What is up? What is up? Thank you so much for the donation. They said, wow, throwing people under the bus. Oof. Love you, girl. I'll be graduating in 2 days near your town. What? Congratulations. Yes, Capricorn gang. Shout out to all the Caps. Congratulations. That is awesome. Congrats, congrats, congrats. In 2 days. Ooh, I know you're excited. So that's going to be on Friday. That's awesome, dude. Congrats. Congrats to all my grads in the chat. Anybody else graduating? Congrats to you guys. So yes, this person says, you know, you never know who watches the same YouTubers. So I had re-emailed you asking not to read it, but I just want to resubmit it with less details because I do still want some advice / suggestions / feedback from this situation. So I do want to say that I've been a supporter since your call center story times. Thank you so much. I am also Haitian, and when I found out you were too, that made me like your channel even more. Yes, girl. I'm in my early 20s, a Capricorn, and currently in school for my master's. Congrats on going back to school, by the way. Thank you so much, bro. I got my degree a few months ago. Again, shout out to all the Caps in the chat. Shout out to all my students in the chat. Keep going. I know that it looks like the world is burning down around us, but if that is something that you see for yourself and something that you want for yourself, which is to further your education, freaking go for it. Like, go for it. I want to shout out to all my Zoes too. Shout out to all the Zoes in the chat. Shout out to all my Caribbeans, all my Zoes, my Dominicans, my Puerto Ricans. Shout out to all y'all. Okay, let me stop. So during the pandemic in early 2020, I was able to go to Haiti. Oh my God, lucky. With a couple people from my family. I'm not going to be too specific with it, but it was 2 siblings and their mother and uncle. There were more people, but they're irrelevant to the story for real. So basically, one of the nights we went to a nice restaurant in Port-au-Prince, and we all basically were lit as fuck. Everybody was taking shots and drinking long, strong, fruity drinks. Yes, I could not wait, y'all. Oh my God. Ugh. So at the dinner, I was sitting in between one of my siblings and their uncle. Not sure if this needs a trigger warning for this, but just in case. During the dinner, I felt a hand on my knee, and it was the uncle. I didn't react right then and there because I just assumed maybe it's a mistake which side his wife is on. I don't know. I was drunk and I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I feel you. I would be on some like is this the alcohol or is he being weird? And because I show family, of course, the first thing you're gonna be like, okay, it's the alcohol. Just get off. Like, ew. And then we all know what Haitian uncles look like too. Like, so backstory, my siblings have a great relationship with this uncle. He's been there for them. He is one of the people who contributed to showing them what a healthy family structure actually is, etc. And he seems to be a good man in general. So, continue. Eventually, he removes his hand. This gave me a sigh of relief. Like, damn, maybe he realized and is hoping I didn't peep. I don't know. Nah, I feel like something more weird was going on. I feel like he was low-key testing the waters to see if you were okay with that. You get what I'm saying? And shout out to Casey. What's up, Casey? I hope you have an awesome day, girl. Shout out to Casey. She says drag him. Like, I'd be like, whoa, whoa, stop touching me. Don't touch me. Like, what is that? No. I don't know. I wanted to look his way so I could at least be able to read his demeanor or something, but I was low-key scared to even look at him. And I don't know if he felt embarrassed or what. I found myself more concerned for him than myself in this moment. I do this a lot. Now we're eating and taking more shots. Mind you, this is the first time I felt like I was having fun in a long time. I almost didn't graduate undergrad. Rona was out here canceling plans and acting up. Like, y'all know 2020 was a mess. And I didn't think I would be in Haiti experiencing it in a new way and being able to see my country for what it actually is. Girl, I am so envious. I cannot wait to go. I see a couple y'all in the chat are saying the same thing. Like, I could not wait to go to Haiti. I was for sure focused on having a good time. So I'm sitting here throwing shots back, tasting other people's shots and drinks, a mess. The uncle was actually one of the people encouraging me to try this drink and that drink. I really didn't peep at the time. Then a couple minutes later, his hand was back. Yeah, he's definitely doing some weird shit. Like, I would have got up and went and sat by his wife, like the auntie, like, what are you doing? And then once we got sober, I would have brought that shit up to my parents. Like, at first, I really didn't realize because I was focused on the food in front of me. Like, I was face deep in this food, enjoying every bite. But then his hand moved a little up and it stopped me in my tracks. And I'm like, oh, hell no. What? Your wife right there? I'm your niece? Like, what? Bro, so many thoughts. But I just didn't know how to react. If I make a scene, how will that look on me? If I don't, I'm giving him permission to touch me. Should I move his hand? Is he drunk? What do I do? Like, he is just squeezing on me. Like, does he think that I'm drunk? Long story short, I literally froze and was stuck that whole dinner. I didn't speak nothing. Oh my God, I feel so sorry for you. I'm so sorry this happened to you. I was having an inner battle with myself that whole time. Why couldn't I just move his hand? Like, why didn't I react? Why didn't I yell at him? Like, if I do react, will I be ruining his reputation? Like, he is a good person. Maybe this is a mistake. I don't know. The kicker is, we got back to the house. Everyone's drunk. Drinking more, dancing. I was definitely dancing with him. What? What? Hold on. You said this is your siblings. You have two siblings. You guys have the same father, but different mother. So I'm assuming their mother and uncle. Okay, so this is not your uncle by blood. This is your uncle by relation. This is your sibling's uncle, not your uncle. Still does not make it right. That's still an abuse of power, and it's disgusting because it's like, that is your niece's and nephew's sister. You're disgusting and ought to be ashamed of yourself. I would definitely tell your mom. I would tell your mother. I would tell your mother. Because, I mean, like, obviously, they saw you dancing with him. Like, I would talk to your mom about that. That's weird. I couldn't tell you what happened because I was most definitely blacked out. Thankfully, though, my siblings were watching me the whole time, and they were the ones who brought me to bed. The rest of the trip, he didn't try anything like that again. Yeah, because it probably was really very obvious. Like, it's funny because he has a great thing going with his wife. Everyone can see it, so I don't know. Maybe he was just drunk. I haven't gotten bad vibes from him since, but I don't know if it's worth mentioning. That whole ordeal, I don't know if it's worth mentioning that whole ordeal to my siblings, or should I just keep it to myself? Me and homie don't live anywhere near each other, and I don't know him personally. That was the first time I was around him for that long. I don't know. Should I say something or keep this to myself? To be honest, I wasn't going to say anything because what is there really to say? I didn't move his hand or say anything back then. I don't know. All feedback, suggestions, and whatever are welcome. I hope school doesn't kick your butt and that you're able to finish with excellence. Love you and keep on going. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I feel so bad because this was not your fault at all. And I know for a fact people are going to try to make it seem like it's your fault. And they're going to be like, well, why didn't you say anything? But in reality, if you would have said something, they probably would have blamed you for ruining the time. I don't know. Like, shoulda, coulda, woulda though, right? Like, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I wish I woulda pulled him to the side and be like, hey, are you meaning to touch on me? Like, don't touch on me. Like, stop touching on me. Like, type shit. I don't know. And then the fact that you ended the night dancing with him, like, I don't know. It's just a lot of weird vibes. You did say that you will never see him again, but he is your family's family. He is extended family, and he most likely will pop up again when someone gets married or when a funeral happens, and you may have to spend a prolonged amount of time with him. And I think the more people you let know about that one instance, that if another one does happen in the future, they're going to be more inclined to believe you. Because your whole family saw y'all dancing. So, you get what I'm saying? It's definitely giving weirdo behavior. I would tell your mother. Tell your mother. Okay? I would tell your mother so you can have somebody that knows. And should you tell your siblings? It depends on how old they are. You said they're little. Are they little? Because if they're little kids, then hell no, don't tell them. Or like if they're minors, don't tell them because they're not going to be able to really understand the gravity of what was going on. Because again, they might have the immature thinking of, oh, well, why didn't you say something when it was happening? So but if y'all are all grown, yeah, say something. Let them know. Just like, yeah, you know that one time that happened, it was really weird. Like, I don't know. Let me read the chat. What do you guys think? They said the only problem with telling a mom was that it would probably make her sleep. Hold on. Let me see. The chat's moving fast. The only problem with telling the mom is that her mom would probably make her sleep, keep it as a family secret. No, see, that's the gag. The mom, they do not share, the siblings don't share the same mom. So the siblings have one mother, and the mother's brother is the one that's touching on her. So her biological mother is technically her only biological ally in this. That's why I said she should tell her mother. Not her sibling's mother, her mother. Tell her mother. Money Dubois says she should because he could be doing it to another family. And I agree to that too, because it's usually those, oh, he's so good with family, he be in the church types that be doing stuff like that. He's so good with kids. He is the, like you said earlier, the epitome of what a good man and all this shit should be. Usually we having some skeletons in the closets. Shaniqua says, I'm more so concerned about what she doesn't remember from that night. Me too. And I'm glad that your siblings brought you to bed. And I bet you when you talk to your siblings about it, they're probably going to be like, no, I do remember that one time. Like, just watch. Freezing is a very common trauma response. Yeah, it's called fight, flight, and fawn. Fawn and freeze. It's the same thing. You just freeze and you just are stuck. Justin says, damn, I feel why she didn't tell anybody, especially the drinking. I know. I really do hope that you speak up, because your whole story, your story is exactly why a lot of us women do not speak up, because we automatically go to all of the situations of what other people on the outside are going to say to discredit our story, you know? So I would definitely plant some seeds, leave a paper trail. Mio in the chat said, I'd at least say something to your mom. Yeah, like, because nobody should have to hold all of this in by themselves. And even though he did not like assault you like violently, that's another thing. People think it has to be like this violent thing. Like, no, this was not right, you know? So if you guys have any advice, or you've been in a similar situation, please put it in the comments below. Give them some advice. As y'all heard the show, we're about to wrap up the show. Thank you guys, every single one of you that did send in a story. Thank you so much for being patient with me and waiting for me to get to your story. If you would like your story read on this channel, all you have to do is email me at this email above here, okay? That email is also in the description below. It is tribetea@shopvoodoochild.com. All right, make sure you sign up for the site and become a member. I'll be doing giveaways, and I send out mobile notifications every time I upload on this channel. Again, make sure you guys go and check out my shop. We have crop tops and all types of stuff. We have artwork, all that jazz. All right, thank you guys so much to those of you that have been supporting me so far and sending me photos of you and your merch. I appreciate it. Everything is handmade, so yeah, made with love. And yes, thank you guys in the chat. Make sure you like the video on your way out. If you like the video, like the video. Make sure you guys check me out on other social media platforms. I'm about to go post a TikTok right now. You check out the website, Instagram, all that jazz. What else? Oh, if you like this wig, it is on my Amazon storefront. Link in the bio, the description or whatever. You know, it's synthetic. That's why she's giving a Barbie, but I kind of like this Barbie look. So if you guys are fucking with the Barbie look, go and cop it on the Amazon storefront. I'll get a few pennies off of it, literal pennies. What else before I go? That's pretty much it. Medicated Diaries episode coming soon. I just honestly didn't have anything to talk about last week. I told y'all with that series, it's just as I go, you know. I just didn't have anything to really talk about, so it didn't come out, but you guys might get it this weekend. So yeah, I'm really excited for the month of May, guys. May is about to be a really, really fun month. I don't want to spoil it. I love surprises when it comes to you guys, so I'm not going to spoil it, but please stay tuned. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much to all the moderators. Shout out to all y'all. And I will see you guys soon. Peace.